Alright, it's Saturday. Saturday morning, I need to top off this oil tank, this transmission pan. So I'm using this Haynes manual. See the Haynes manual here? And I also got my Tacoma owner's manual right here. So for those of you who don't know, I'm no Toyota expert. This is my first Toyota, so I'm kind of learning as I go along. If you got any advice, feel free to comment. Learn by my mistakes is what I say. This book here is a Haynes Repair Manual 2005 to 2009. Hey, I got a 2010. Close enough. See, it gives you the capacities here. See, capacities. You go on down to automatic transmission, drain and refill, 5-speed transmission, 3.2 quarts. Well, I figured it took more quarts than that. Overall, including the torque converter. Does it have a torque converter? I don't know. Most transmissions, automatics have a torque converter, and those hold a lot of transmission fluid. So apparently I'm just draining the transmission pan, okay? So I figured it should take 3.2 quarts. But so far I've already put in 4 quarts. Just about 4 quarts, yeah. Because I bought 4 bottles and I used them all up, and it's still not going over the overflow tube. That's what I'm doing today. I'm just going to top it off. So if you want to know how much your transmission uses, you go to the Tacoma manual right here, and you go to automatic transmission under specifications here. 4-speed model, 5-speed model, automatic transmission. See, without the towing package, 11.3 quarts. With towing package, 11.5 quarts. So the only difference I can figure here is that one has a transmission cooler and one doesn't. And if you look at the little asterisk here, see the little asterisk? There's a note. Fluid capacity is the quantity of reference. Huh? If replacement is necessary, contact your Toyota dealer. Well, isn't that nice? Sounds like it's going to cost me something. Oh, yeah. So what's a transmission cooler? I'll show you right now. Alright, here's the front of my Toyota. There's the grill. Take the grill off. 2 screws and a couple of clips. A couple little quick retainers here. It's kind of like an expansion plug. You need to pull the center section up for it to release. Like that, and then the whole thing comes out. But behind the grill there is the transmission cooler. It's just a little radiator type thing. Yeah, it's a little radiator type thing for the cooling the transmission fluid. Alright, did you see how dirty the oil was? That factory filter isn't a very good filter. I'd like to add one of these, magnifying, probably in screws. Anyways, these come in different sizes just based on the hose you're hooking up to. Like this is a 5/16 hose. So I think this was for the Bronco. This is my extra for the Bronco. Yeah. Says on there, change every 30,000 miles. BossProductsUSA.com. 16 bucks. Now I'd like to cut that in on this truck, but I'm not sure what the tube size is, the hose size, because I'd cut it in line with the transcooler. Yeah, I'd cut it in line with one of these hoses here on the transcooler. cut it in, maybe put a bigger hose on there. And then it'd be a good idea to strap that filter up somewhere so it's not flopping around in here. Another thing is that there is a directional flow on that filter. So you could also cut it in one of these lines down in here too. I got to find out which one is flowing out of the transmission and which one is flowing back. You know, I need to know the direction of flow. This thing has to be in the right direction to be installed correctly. And I gotta see if it fits those hoses. If not, I gotta order one specifically for those hose sizes. I don't know what size those hoses are. I was looking at the markings on there, but I don't see anything. Alright, so I just got back from breakfast and I'm basically just letting that catalytic converter cool off a bit because it's right next to the transmission. And that's where I fill at. That's where I stick the hose in to fill the transmission. So that's what I gotta do next. I'll top it off. Then I'll have to check it with the engine running. I don't want to take off my pretty shirt, huh? Alright, so here's the plan. Here's the overflow plug. The engine's running. You gotta open that up and fill it. Yeah. So now I'm gonna pump some oil into the transmission. That's my pump hose there. Until I get some fluid out of there. Once the fluid comes out, it's full. So, see here. Oh, it looks like it's full. Alright, finally. Finally. Okay, got that taken care of. Now there's some other ways of doing this transmission change. You could, when you drain the oil, measure how much oil you'll drain out and then put back the same amount. That's one way to do it. I'm basically just going by the book. But yeah, I seen another guy do it with, he just measured how much oil came out and that's how much oil he put back in. So like I said, there's all kinds of ways to do things. I'm new to Toyotas and I'm just going by the book there. So now that I'm underneath the vehicle and I'm kind of waiting for another Bronco owner to show up. He wants to borrow some tools, so he should be coming by soon. But while I'm out here waiting, I'm going to go ahead and grease the U-joints since I'm underneath the truck. Oh heck, I'm running out of batteries, but here's basically it. Here's the grease fitting right here. What you want to do is clean any kind of dirt off there, because you don't want to push dirt into your bearings, into the U-joint there. Clean the dirt off there. Let's see. Got one there in that U-joint. Now, my book shows one for this slip joint. This is another slip joint here, slip yoke. The drive shaft slides in and out. Okay. And the book shows a fitting on here, but I don't see nothing. So that's kind of a pain in the ass, because then you got to take this across, take this loose, and pack it full of grease and put it back together, and make sure you put it in right. See how this This Zerk fitting here, this grease fitting lines up down here with that grease fitting over there. See that one right there? That's the phase. You got to have these things in phase. Because once you slide these two pieces apart, you got to make sure they go back again in line all the way down. So that's just something to think about there. Happens all the time. People don't know that. Same thing in this one over here. It's got to go in phase. This U-joint lines up with this U-joint. Lines up with the other U-joint on the end over there. So I'm going to grease those up. I think I got some in the front, on the little front drive shaft up there. That's about it. Not much to it. Just make sure you use the right kind of grease. Make sure the grease you use meets the specifications for your vehicle. You know, you have to check your model number. It's a GL number, grease something, GLI, Grease Institute or something. It's got a number and a specification for the grease. Alright, just a quickie here before my batteries die on me. I got one bar left. It's an orange, see right here, chassis grease. Chassis grease. NLGI number 2 lithium based chassis grease. So this is what I got right here. Number 2. This is a Lucas product. Yeah. Because I think my grease gun's empty. You got to reload it. Hey, look who's here. It's Chris. All right. Well, anyway, that was Chris who came by. Wanted to borrow some tools. Actually, he needed a socket to fit the drain plug on it, or the fill plug on his transfer case. So, anyway, yeah, that's his Bronco project he's working on, getting it together. It's looking good. So I'm done with this. It's full of transmission fluid. I need to order one of those magnifying filters and a 3/8 for a 3/8 hose. The one I have is 5/16. That's for the Bronco. So, and then when I get that, I'll have to cut it in line somewhere with the transmission cooler. First thing, I do some research and find out which way the flow is, so I put it in the right direction. So I'll have to look that up and find that somewhere out there. And that's about it for today. I'm tired. I don't know why. It's only like 1 o'clock. It is nice and warm out here in the sun. That's the way I like it.